Y coge esto, porfa. Uf. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Yadi Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Yadi Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanadari Pijanna Vallabha Girivanadari Gopi Janna Vallabha Jaya Girivanadari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanadari Yashoda Nandana Raja Janna Ranjana 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 Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanadari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanadari Yashoda Nandana Raja Janna Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Raja Janna Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitya Lila Pavishtum Vishnupata Paramahansa Parivraja Kachastar Satasi Simat Abhacharana Vinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitya Lila Pavishtum Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivraja Kachastar Satasi Simat Bhakti Rakakshila Siddhadeva Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitya Lila Pavishtum Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivraja Kachastar Satasi Simat Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitya Lila Pavishtum Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivraja Kachastar Satasi Simad Bhakti Bimala Harijan Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitya Lila Pavishtum Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivraja Kachastar Satasi Simad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitya Lila Pavishtum Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivraja Kachastar Satasi Simad Srila Bhakti Kokishos Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitya Lila Pavishtum Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivraja Kachastar Sadasi Simad Bhakti Vinod Thakur Mahashai Ki Jai. Srila Paramahansa Maharaj Ki Jai. Vaishnava Vinda Ki Jai. Vinda Kunja Yamuna Kunja Vangsi Kunja Ki Jai. Saraswati Kunja Ki Jai. Todos los glorias a los devotos reunidos. Todos los glorias a los devotos reunidos. Nitai Gaur Hari Hari Bol. Vishva Vaishnava Raj Sabha Ki Jai. Vamos Namaj, tú escoges el verso hoy que Krishna nos va a regalar para este día. Hast du gut geschlafen? Ja? Nicht kalt. ¿Cuál era? Yeah, okay, yes. So we will speak in English. Please make sure you write down all your new vocabulary because it's philosophy and English at the same time. And it's very important. For preaching in India, you have to know English. Minimum. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The great sage, okay, here. Angira Uvacha Apitena Mayam Swasti Prakritinam Tatamana Yata Prakritir Guptaha Pumam Raja Shashaptabi. The great sage Angira said, my dear king, I hope that your body and mind and your royal associates and paraphernalia are well. When the 7 properties of material nature, the total material energy, the ego, and the 5 objects of sense gratification are in proper order, the living entity within the material elements is happy. Without these 7 elements, one cannot exist. Similarly, a king is always protected by 7 elements.
Jai Shri Guru Maharaj ki Jai.
Similarly, a king is always protected by 7 elements. His instructor, Swami or Guru, his ministers, his kingdom, his fort, his treasury, his royal order, and his friends. It is quoted by Srila Sridhar Swami in the Bhagavatam commentary. Actually, I have to excuse myself, but for the translation you have to be a little bit more in the back, because you're like, I'm hearing you as loud as myself. Sí, está. And the translator should better speak a little bit in another direction. Swami Amatyau Janapada Durga Dravina Sanchayar Dandomitram Chatasyatai Shapta Prakratayo Mata. A king is not alone. He first has his spiritual master, the supreme guide. Then come his ministers, his kingdom, his fortifications, his treasury, his system of law and order, and his friends or allies. All these 7s are properly maintained. The king is happy. Similarly, as explained in Bhagavad Gita, Denosmin Yata Dehe, the living entity, the soul, is within the material covering of the Mahatattva. Ego I Panchatamatra, the 5 objects of sense gratification. When these 7 are in proper order, the living entity is in a mood of pleasure. Generally, when the associates of the king are quiet and obedient, the king can be happy. Therefore, the great sage Angira Rishi inquired about the king's personal health and the good fortune of his 7 associates. When we inquire from a friend whether everything is well, we are considered not only we are concerned not only with his personal with his personal self, but also with his family, his source of income, and his assistants or servants. All of them must be well, and then a person can be happy. Srimad Srimad Bhagavatam, Chitraketu's lamentation. 6th canto, 14th chapter, text number 12. Next verse. O king, lord of humanity, when a king directly depends upon his associates and follows their instruction, he is happy. Similarly, when his associates offer their gifts and activities to the king and follow his order, they are also happy. Next verse. O king, are your wives, citizens, secretaries and servants and the merchants who sell spices and oil under your control? Are you also in full control of ministers, the inhabitants of your palace, your provincial governors, your sons and your other dependents? Mata, later. The master of our king and his subordinates should be interdependent. Through cooperation, both of them can be happy. If the king's mind is fully controlled, all his family members and government officials are subordinate to him. His provincial governors present taxes on time without resistance. What to speak of the lesser servants? O King Chitraketu, I can observe that your mind is not pleased. You seem not to have achieved your desired goal. Is this because of you yourself, or has it been caused by others? Your pale face reflects your deep anxiety. Shukadeva Goswami said, O King Parikshit, also the great sage Angira knew everything. He inquired from the king in this way. Thus King Chitraketu, desiring a son, bent low in great humility and spoke to the great sage as follows. King Chitraketu said, O great sage Angira, because of austerity, knowledge and transcendental samadhi, you are freed from the reactions of sinful life. Therefore, as a perfect yogi, you can understand everything external and internal regarding embodied, conditioned souls like us. O great soul, you are aware of everything. You are asking me why. I am full of anxiety, therefore in response to your order, let me disclose the cause. As a person aggrieved by hunger and thirst is not pleased by the external gratification of flower garlands or sandalwood pulp, I am not pleased with my empire, opulence or possession, which are desirable even for the great demigods, because I have no son. Om Ajnanatimindasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshunmilitam Jene Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, sannyasi. Brahmachari life is fantastic. Oh, it is so incredible. You live in the ashram of your guru. You have no problems. Sometimes he sends you out preaching. Sometimes he asks you to become a good cook. Sometimes he asks you to learn the scriptures and memorize the shlokas. Sometimes he asks you to take care of the visitors of the ashram. So many things you learn in this ashram. You don't have to worry. You have no bank account, nothing. Because he's not only your father, he's your educator, he's your well-wisher. You're very grateful to him. Just like we are very grateful to our parents, so we are also very grateful to the Guru who's looking after us. That means both Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru, because many times the Diksha Guru is not there, and some Shiksha Guru is looking after us and giving us proper help. So, this brahmachari life is so glorious. But then the question arises, what comes after brahmachari? What will be the next step? That is an amazing experience too. Because Grihastha life more or less starts around 25. Until 25 or so, it can be just preparation. But Grihastha life is social responsibility of all kinds. So as a Grihastha, you get married, most likely have to start a business. Especially for devotees, it's recommended to start a business, because for devotees it is not recommended to be employed by some low personality. Low personality means low in his conducts. Drinking, smoking, women hunting, gambling, harsh behavior, adharmic thinking. That's very horrible to have such a person as your boss. Very disturbing. So for devotees in this age, most recommended to do a little Vaishya activity, a little business. Make your life by business or by Brahminical activities. Maybe some become astrologers, Ayurvedic consultants, and things like that. But then this Grihastha life, it's not easy. I'll tell you one joke. One time there was a man, he was lost in the desert, and he was about to die. So then he found a lamp in the sand. So he started cleaning the lamp. What's this? And the genie came out. And the genie said, "Master, now you are my master. What do you want me to do? I can satisfy all your desires." So you think, oh, I'm in the desert, I'm about to die, let me get out of here. So he said, okay, can you please make a road from here directly to San Francisco, so I can visit my family and get water and food and everything very fast? The genie said, what? A road from here to San Francisco, right in the bridge, in the air you want me to make? That's a big job. I don't know. Can't you ask something else? Because that job seems to... He said something else. Okay, I have another question. Please, can you explain to me the mind of my wife? Then the genie said, how many meters wide you wanted to have the road? Can you please tell me that? So Grihastha life is not easy, because you have to understand what is this all, this Purusha, Shakti, all this, how this works, the balances, the authority. It's very, 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 very amazing. It's really amazing. Especially if you want to have a peaceful life. Anyway, I won't go into the details here, but then you have a wife. If there's no child, then it says this marriage is like a desert. Living in the desert if there's no child. Of course, Grihasthas can more easily understand this type of description. Because in a sense, a Grihastha is also a king. Here we are talking about the kingdom and the system of monarchy, which is very interesting, specifically with the systems we are having today, where the politicians have no dharma and they're misguided, surrounded by thugs and total disarray. Really, I mean, like in Germany today, some people are the president and the ministers, and they're very foolish, but then the whole population, they're making fun of them, they're insulting them. You should see the way they insult the politicians in Europe. This is not fun, you know. Huh? So if the king must be beloved. The father of the house must be beloved. The wife must love him. He must love the wife. The children must love them. The brothers and fathers. If there's no balance, no harmony, how can you be happy? How can you be happy as an old man when you know that my children are just waiting that I die so they will start fighting over the inheritance? How will you be happy in such a condition? So, King Chitraketu here, this is a long story. He had everything. Everything was working fine, but he didn't have a son. So he was completely morose. And who's going to take over my kingdom when I die? I have no son. Because that's monarchy. Usually they give the eldest son of the king. He becomes the next king, unless there's some disturbance. Like in the case of Dhritarashtra. He was the firstborn child, but he was blind. And being blind, it was said, well, he can't really be the king. Anyway, you know that story. Then Pandu became the king. Then Pandu died. And then Dhritarashtra had to look after the children of Pandu. It is a separate story, no? But Chitraketu, his only problem, he had no son. So as the story develops, by the grace of Angira Muni, he gets a blessing and his wife becomes pregnant and she has a son. So great joy in the palace, everything wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. But then, few years later, the son dies. Then Chitraketu was devastated. Sometimes in this world we are devastated for different reasons. When we are devastated is the best moment to take shelter of Krishna. I am devastated, my Lord. I cannot see any future. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. You are my only shelter. That's very good. To think like that, to feel like that is very good. If you think everything is fine, my sense gratification is guaranteed, I have a nice treasury, money is coming in big amounts, I can do anything I want, then you don't feel the need for spiritual life. Rarely I've seen a man or a woman who has money taken up Krishna consciousness seriously. Rarely, really. Of course, some rich people, like in India, they do give donations. They give something, Olaf. This can, but one thing, to give donation for a rich man, it's pious. But that doesn't mean surrender to Krishna. He's gaining some piety, he's paying a little bit of the debt he has with Krishna. Because everything we have is Krishna's. If you're rich, Krishna has given that to you to test you. Riches is a test. Beauty is a test. Fame is a test. Everything in this world is a test. How are you going to fare? How are you going to do with this? Janmaiswari, Janmaiswarya Shrutya Shribir, Irabana Mahadapuman, Naivahati Abidatung Tvai, Twang Nakin Shanagocharam. The intoxication which is derived from birth, Janma, Aishwarya, opulence, Shruta, learning, or Shribir, beauty, that intoxication is very difficult to overcome. The woman is very beautiful, and all men are looking, oh. Then she goes like, and becomes a diva. Because it goes to your head. And everybody looks at you and everybody thinks, oh, you must be some goddess of fortune. And this is the world of madness. So easy one gets carried away. Learning. When people have a lot of learning, they often become puffed up. Like chiflado. Yes? What do you know? What do you know? You're ignorant. I don't associate with ignorant people. Sorry, I'm very humble, but you are just too low class. What are you? A businessman. Okay, you're a businessman. What are you? A king? Okay, a king. They're so proud, the learned people. And because they're so proud, they cannot engage in devotional service. They are intoxicated. It's an intoxication. And the same is birth. Where you come from? Germany. And when you say in India, Germany, the people's face goes like this. Oh, German. Why? Because of Hitler. And why? Because Hitler declared war on the British. And the British were exploiting the Indians. They had colonialism. So when the Indians heard somebody declared war on Britain, then they went all over India, die, die, die. Who is that saint who is attacking Britain? They don't think like in other parts of the world about Germans because of that, because they attacked the British. That's in their mind. Of course, the freedom fighters here, they also, like Bose, Chandra Bose, he went to Germany to get help from the Germans to fight the Indians here. So they had some ally connection. And then the Indians think, oh, the Germans, they like the Sanskrit. German, they're very inclined to study and say, yes, Sanskrit. So Indians, in their inferiority complex, if somebody says, wow, you Indians are so nice, you have such a nice Sanskrit, and they go, thank you, thank you. They become very grateful. You know, it's not only Indians, everybody in the world. If you flatter them, they feel very pleased. If you criticize their faults, they become very upset. Now, who were the German Sanskritists? Number one, Max Müller. Who were they? They were rascals engaged by the British government to study Sanskrit, to discredit Hinduism by writing infiltrated lies, stealing literature. They only did harm to India. But still in Calcutta you have Max Müller Bhavan. You still, because they can't separate it from, oh, the guy learned Sanskrit, oh, the guy gave some credibility to us. No! He came here to cheat you, to steal your language, to steal the truth, to distort the Vedas, so that the whole world, the business of the Sanskritists employed by the English, the business was to discredit India in the face of the whole world, to be primitive, backward, and other negative things. That is going on until today. Rajiv Malhotra, who is a great professor from Harvard University, he says there is an incredible Hindu phobia in the world. Who are the Hindu phobic? Well, all the people who before were cheating and stealing from India. France, Portugal, England. The Germans were not important, they were just employed by the British. That's why the Indians don't think bad of the Germans, because the Germans didn't come here to take a colony or something. So this is birth. Birth is a big, big intoxication. I have blue blood. I'm coming from a von. In Germany, if somebody comes from a blue blood family, his name is usually von and something. Like my mother's name is von Beckerath. So you know, these people used to have castles and things like that. Or had some, whatever they had. So, aristocratic. Everywhere aristocratic, everywhere this is going on in the world. And it's heavy. Take South America. The Venezuelans and the Colombians. It's the funniest relationship in the world. Because most of the Venezuelans, or many of them, they come from Colombia. They migrated to Venezuela because there was more money. But in Venezuela, there was in Colombian, low class. Really, really. Because I was working in Colombia and I often went to Venezuela, so I really know what that is like. You say, you want to come to Colombia? Colombia? Nah. I go to Miami. I go to Paris. I don't go to Colombia. No. So, very, very heavy prejudice, discrimination. And then the funniest things happened. Then Chavez and Maduro came, and there was no more food in Venezuela. And the Venezuelans who were so proud, they had to go and beg in Colombia for some food and some job. And they became very down. Their big pride had to come down. Okay, Colombians, very nice people. Very funny to see this. Or what about Chile and Argentina? Oh, that is another one. Because usually countries, when they have a border, when they have a frontier, there's some conflict, and then there's a politician, and the military, and they do, these are bad, these are bad. And bad means we can kill them, no problem. It's so silly, birth. In India, you also have many people, they're proud because they're in India. Well, they have a good reason to be proud. India is a fantastic country. There's a fantastic culture here. India has so many fantastic things, so many. Like I was born in Germany. And in my place where I was born, we were very proud because we had something called Hünengräber. It means a few rocks and another rock put on top. And probably they buried somebody there. And that was, we have great culture, we have our Germanic. I mean, you go in India anywhere, you see sophisticated carvings of antiquity, 1,000 years, 2,000 years. Now they say Kurukshetra war was 7,500 years ago, and everything, and you have the Brahma Sarovar and this and that. You have temples carved out of one mountain. You have temples inverted in the earth. No, India has, and that's after colonialism has destroyed so much destruction. So Indians have a good reason to be proud, but they're not supposed to. Because it says, Bharata bhumile haile, manusya janma jana, Janma satakakari kora pare upakara. If you're born in the land of Bharat, then you are meant to make the whole world happy by giving the teachings of Bharat to them. Para upakara. You must be a welfare worker for the well-being of others. So being a welfare, giving others, that's what Srila Prabhupada did. He was the perfect example of that. And he told his Indian countryman, let's help me. We want to give something good to the world. Not so easy. I know one group here in India, I won't mention the name. They're very powerful, they're very rich, but they don't think anything about foreigners. They don't include them. They do nothing for them. There's no para upakara for the West going on. But otherwise, they're great personalities. There's another group, I also want to mention their name. They are also very powerful, they're very rich, and they make beautiful temples. But if you're not born in Gujarat, then you cannot be a member. You can be a sympathizer. So this birth is so strong. I'm born in this place. I'm more than anybody else because I'm of this, of that. In Europe, everywhere. I mean, look at the Germans. The Germans attacked Russia, I think twice in history. Maybe more, but at least twice. And the Germans think the Russians are bad. The Russians never attacked the Germans. On the contrary, very recently, the Russians gave up the German colony which they had after the Second World War, where they won the war. They simply said, okay, we go. Now you're back to freedom. You paid enough money for the war damages. The Americans didn't go, but the Russians went. And now everybody in Germany talking bad about Russia. Why? For what? The people are crazy in this world about nationality, my birth, I'm this, I'm that. It is extremely horrible. So, it's madness, it's intoxication. Intoxicated by birth, intoxicated by learning, intoxicated by money. Those who have money, they only live in the country clubs. They don't go to the street. They don't associate with the chusma. One preacher said, yes, we have chusma Rika and chusma Bobber. Huh? But this is so, you have money, you go crazy. So this is what is said here, that if things are not balanced properly, nobody is happy. Is anybody happy in Germany right now? What do you say, Olaf? Yes, because they have good food, they still have a little freedom, but no, really, I don't see many people happy. The politicians are not happy. The people under them are not happy. The police is not happy. The migrants are not happy. Everybody's complaining, isn't it? So what kind of happiness they have? Zero. They have destroyed Germany. Completely destroyed. And the animals in Germany, they're not happy. Well, the animals are not happy anywhere, practically. Everybody wants to kill the animals. The human beings with the animals, they're so horrible. Either I want you to be my pet, or I want to put you on my plate and eat you. Asians, they're even worse. Koreans and all that, they eat everything. Whatever they get their hands on, they eat it. Well, maybe they have pets also, I don't know. But they definitely eat everything they can get their hands on. Now Europe is promoting insect eating. It's the big thing. Yes, good protein from the insect world. So much that the vegetarians have to be careful, because according to the European Union, you can put insects into the food you're producing industrially, and it does not have to say on the package. They are not obliged. Can you imagine eating some bread? What was it? I just were eating cockroaches. I mean, some people take them like this and eat them right away. So, having a child is a great blessing. No child is desert. And you see, actually children are incredible. Because they are so sweet. Little boys and little girls. I mean, who will not get enamored to see them? It's just so beautiful, children. So cute. And when they smile or when they want to give you a hug, everybody's heart just goes, it just becomes liquid. But that's only the childhood. Then things change. When puberty comes, they go like this. Wait a second. Now you don't tell me what I shall do, please. They get their own ego installed in their life. And their karma is manifesting. So, Chitraketu was so happy he got a son. And then that son died. Then he was saying, this world is worthless, useless. I want to die. You see how many people commit suicide? It's terrible. Terrible, terrible how many people commit suicide. So the Vedas say, instead of committing suicide, why don't you give your life to God? Why don't you try to do something useful? Already you want to kill this body. You think this body is not offering anything good. Okay. Then give it up. Actually, sannyas is also called civil suicide. Sannyas means, okay, for me, finish this world. I just want to serve my Lord, that's all, and leave this world. But you know, Prabhupada gave sannyas to us in young age. And he said, yes, now you go out and do something. Make a temple, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Make a community. Make something fantastic. Yesterday, ISKCON opened a new fancy restaurant, Govinda's restaurant, in Mathura, right around the corner. So whenever the devotees do something like this, the devotees become very happy. Oh, wow, something else, something beautiful. Krishna, Krishna. So, no happiness in this world, that is the message. You try to be happy, you cling on to something. It won't work. One guy committed suicide. He was an investment banker. So he was very rich. I don't know, maybe he was having $300 million or something. So some financial crash came, and after the financial crash, he only had left $150 million instead of 300. Committed suicide. Poor guy. Only $150 million. I lost the heart. You hear that? It's like this material world is always making propaganda. This man is a rich guy, The sports person earns so much. The movie people get so much money. And it's all a game, gambling game. You will be happy by gratifying your senses. That's what the senses promote. Are your senses satisfied? Is there a real satisfaction? Like, let's be honest. Drugs, forget it. They just make you sick and addicted. And every time more stupid. Every time you take the drug, you become a little bit more stupid than you are already. Already you are fully stupid to take drugs, because just look what happened to the people who take drugs, how they are down. So, let's forget about drugs. Happiness with that. Gambling? Gambling is a terrible addiction. People, they cannot stop. They gamble so much that they lose their own house. They come home to their wife, they said, I have a bad news. What? I just lost our house. This happens all the time because they're addicted. I've met devotees addicted to gambling. Gambling is such a silly thing. Always hoping, I'll gain. What about the pleasure of sex life? That's a long story. The Romeo and Juliet story, it seems never to end. But in the real world, divorce, 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 divorce. And if they're not divorced, they're just hanging in together because of the kids. We stay together, because of the kids. I know people, the children left the home, they get divorced. They said, okay, kids are gone. Now we don't have to tolerate each other anymore. Changing of partner. Jealousy. Many people get destroyed by jealousy, sometimes even without a cause. There's jealousy, just you are afraid your partner may go to somebody else. I remember one case in our temple in South America. The temple president was a kind of a handsome guy. So one girl came from another country. She liked him and she married him. So now the temple president was married. So whenever another beautiful girl was coming to the temple, this woman, the temple president, she would get, she was so unfriendly with them that the girls all ran away. One day, this girl, she was dreaming of Srila Prabhupada. She told that story personally to me. And Prabhupada asked her, why do you make abortion? She said, abortion? No, Prabhupada, I'm not doing any abortion. And Prabhupada said, and what about these girls you throw out of the temple? You make their life miserable so they go away. Then she was frightened. Frightened. Anyway, that was the beginning of a long story. I don't tell the rest. But because of her jealousy, any beautiful girl she saw, my husband will like looking at her, then maybe he will go to her and leave me. So let's get rid of them. Another story, similar. A woman, she was also jealous, also because her husband was temple president. She would go with a scissor and cut the cloths of the other ladies who were staying in the temple. So when they went to get their clothes from the drying, they were with holes all over. So jealousy is crazy. It means even though you have a partner, you're not happy. If you don't have a partner, you're also not happy. So don't tell me that the greatest happiness of life is in family. It's not. It's a karmic experience. But this happiness which is talked here about, it comes from completely harmonizing with the sweet will of God. And even then, sufferings will come. So the kid of Chitraketu died. Then Angira Muni came, and the king was devastated. He was completely devastated. Then Angira Muni said, "What's your problem? Why are you crying?" "My son died. My son died. My life is finished. I don't see no more joy." And Chitraketu said, "What do you want? Bring my son back. Bring my son back. Bring my son back." "Back from death?" Yes, you're a powerful yogi. Bring my son back. Bring my son back." This is a story from Bhagavatam. So then the Muni started praying, "My Lord, please," he's making this request to me, "could you please give an exemption and let this son come back to life?" So by the will of God, the dead boy started moving again. And he sat up and looked at the Muni and says, "Why did you call me? I was already on my way. Why you called me back?" Chitraketu was sitting there. Then the Muni said, "Because your father wanted to see you. Your father could not tolerate that you're gone." Then the boy said, "My father? I've had so many fathers in my journey of life. Oh, they're gone. And I'm looking for the goal of life. I have no more business here." And Chitraketu was like, "What am I doing? I'm only thinking son, son, son. I'm not thinking my soul, soul, soul. I'm not thinking what is my relationship with the goal." So we are so obsessed with the temporary issues. It's a little cold, it's a little warm, it's a little this, a little that. We are complaining always about something. India is this. When we are in India, we complain about India. When we are in Costa Rica, we complain about Costa Rica. When married, we complain about marriage. When not married, then we are complaining about not being married. Everything is always some problem. We are the problem. We are the cause of our problems. Not the problems are the problem. You are the problem. And that you have to understand and engage in spiritual dedication. Spiritual dedication. Makanchot, we went and looked yesterday at the Gopinath garden, and you did a nice job there. You did hard work. Now we have to try to help the greening to get some grass. And then we have the other side of the other garden. That's another big job waiting.
Queria que você corte um pouquinho pedacito de un fierro, un tubo que está aquí. Yo llegué y lo puse, quién sabe, ya lo quitarían. Se lo puse a la práctica porque me saca bien.
Después hablamos detalles. So, I just wanted to say that we appreciated what you did there. It looks very nicely, and I wanted to congratulate you. And are you back? Vacation is finished?
Not yet.
Oh. So this is the Vedic philosophy. You have to make Krishna happy, otherwise forget it. Just gonna run around in the world complaining about everything. Except complaining about yourself. That you forget. About your ego, your lust, your anger, your greed, all the negative things in you. That you don't complain about. But they are the cause of all the problems. So unfortunately our time is out. Do you have any questions? Yes.
Fuera de una vida eminentemente espiritual, o sea, eminentemente dedicada al servicio, es desolador, porque muchas veces tú no sientes que tengas la vocación para ser exclusivamente dedicada al servicio espiritual, entonces no vas a poder ser feliz. O sea, esa es mi pregunta. No hay felicidad o tranquilidad fuera de esta realidad.
Acústicamente no entendía todo lo que dijiste, pero yo creo la esencia sí lo entendía. Pero,
¿Te puedo resumir lo que ella dice?
okay.
Ella dice que es muy triste que fuera de la vida de devoción no exista ninguna solución, que la vida sea tan horrible. No lo dije. Venga, más tranquila.
Lo que digo es que siento después de esta
Charla.
de este momento, que me siento desolada, o sea, siento como que si mi decisión no es hoy servir o entregarme absolutamente a lo espiritual, sino que tengo otro tipo de intereses, me gustaría una familia, me gustaría otro tipo de cosas. Entonces, la verdad es que estoy destinada a la infelicidad. No hay felicidad.
Destinado a
La infelicidad.
infelicidad.
No hay felicidad por fuera de esta vida. Eso es mi pregunta. No sé si esa...
Ahora sí lo entiendo. Gracias.
No es que sea horrible, no, al contrario, lo encuentro divino, pero
The conclusion is that you should make God's desires your desires. And if you do that, then happiness is automatically there. Even if everything goes wrong. Sometimes things go wrong in life, for whatever karmic reason that may be. Like Chitraketu, he got a son, he was so happy, and then he lost the son, he was destroyed. And he simply lost the vision of what is it all about. In this world, we all have to die. Everything we have is not ours. Like somebody may give you a diamond, $100,000 diamond for you. And you go, wow, for me? $100,000 diamond? Oh. Good, don't wear it in Colombia. But whatever it may be, you die, the diamond will stay. So it's not yours. It's just fantasy. Just some fantasy. Like yesterday we were saying everything is in a fantasy world in a way. It's just I, me, mine. This is all fantasy. So you say I feel a little bit discouraged or like deprimido from hearing that there's nothing really wonderful in this environment. Yes, you have to accept it. What is wonderful in the animal's life in one of those concentration camps? Just being mistreated until they kill you. What is positive in their life? And we are the ones who are eating meat, paying for that. We keep those concentration camps going for our pleasure, to have cheap meat. And it goes on, you know. Some people have Ukraine war because they make money. They make money. Shamelessly they make money. By investing in the weapon industry. It's a big investment. Stock exchange. You can have your money in factories who produce weapons to kill people. So, if you make God's wish your God wish, it's natural for you. Because you are his little daughter. And he loves you. And if you have some desires, for example, maybe you have the desire to live with a husband and children, then you have to serve the husband who is a devotee as a devotee, and you have to serve your kids as Krishna's devotee. You have to educate them properly in this way. Then also Grihastha life is happy. And if you make a lot of money in somewhere and you use that money, of course you're going to spend for your expenditure, but don't become extravagant. And you use that money for something very useful, very helpful, either for God in a temple or in the name of God for others. Charity can also be simply for some good purpose here. Then the money is great. Fantastic that you made a good deal. Like that, if you put God in front of you, it's like Srila Prabhupada said, God is the one and everything else is zero. If you put the zero behind the one, it becomes millions. If you put the one on the other side of the one, the zeros all fall away, useless, valueless. So in that sense, the solution is pretty simple. But the application of the solution is it depends on your proper dedication and your proper realization. Because you can only surrender and do things for God according to your real own understanding. And when we call somebody a pure devotee, that means he has no more private calculation in the system. He just says, what the Lord wants, I will do. No other ambition. So therefore a pure devotee has no bad intention towards anything and anybody. And everybody loves him. Because a pure devotee doesn't harm anybody. Maybe some people are envious of him, maybe they cannot understand him, but basically a pure devotee inspires love. because he only wants to love. So it's not negative. But I agree with you, the panorama in Kali Yuga is not exactly very encouraging. That's why some people also decide, I dedicate my life to God directly, monastically. That's also there. There's nothing bad in monastic dedication. God invites us also. Monastic dedication means becoming like the Lord's intimate immediately. Can you imagine monastic life? If it is true from your heart, you're becoming the Lord's intimate. And miracles will happen. This Krishna conscious movement is a miracle. That this is a Colombian or a South American embassy in Vrindavan, that's a miracle. How in the world did that happen? Within 10 years of Prabhupada going around the world for 10 years, and now we have embassies, we have like it's such a huge human experience. And this is what we are experiencing here right now. This morning I met a Swiss friend, and he told me in Switzerland, in the mountain, a whole village, a beautiful monastery village in the mountain, was donated to them. Why? Because 1.5 hours from there, they made an ashram. Austere, living, up in the mountain. Beautiful area. But they're living the real monastery life. The other people had really, they kind of had some financial problems. They donated the whole village to them, with church included. And their own lift. They have like the ski lifts, you know, ropeway. They have their own ropeway going up to that village. Who can believe it? Krishna consciousness, the temples are really nothing. They're beautiful, important, but they're really nothing. The books, these books, they're temples of understanding. They're temples of communicating the love of God to us. Incredible value in the publications. You can read for the rest of your life. And if you don't like to read anymore, then you can go to Vanipedia and listen to all, it's all recorded. You know this, what you call them, audiobooks. Any other question?
Una pregunta,
Bhaktivinoda.
Hablamos del pasatiempo del señor Shiva, que ya lo toca en la cabeza y el señor Shiva sale corriendo. Siempre decimos que el señor Shiva es el mejor devoto de Krishna, ¿no? ¿Por qué en vez de ir directamente a Vishnu, pasó por el señor Brahma y corrió? ¿Por qué no fue directamente?
Because Lord Brahma was on the way to Vishnu. You had to pass by Brahma and the others, it was on the way. Plus, you see, these stories in the scriptures, they are meant to tell us something. It's not Indra, it's not Vayu, it's not Ganesh, it's not Brahma, it's the Supreme Personality of God. So to teach us these lessons, the scriptures describe this way.
Also because Brahma is the father of Shiva. Then you first go to Gurudev, then you go to Krishna.
Look, what Madhava says. When Ambarish Maharaj, Ambarish and the Sudarshan Chakra, then also Durvasa Muni went everywhere for shelter. He could not find, only with the Supreme Lord.
Gurudev, do you know why Sudarshan didn't kill Durvasa?
Yes, of course. Because it wanted to show the glories of the devotee. Sudarshan, by the way, Durvasa is also a devotee, so it was not meant to be killed. He was meant to teach a lesson about the humility of Ambarish Maharaj. You have another reason?
Ambarish Maharaj was praying to Sudarshan, please don't kill him.
No, of course.
He was in a contradiction, so he was going behind, but not to that point. So he gave enough time.
That's another beautiful aspect. Of course, prayer of Ambarish. Actually, like this in the Vaishnava stories, there's many ways of interpreting them. It's sweet, sweeter, and sweetest. It's always so many views. That's Harikatha, talking about the different sweetnesses of the meetings of the Supreme, of the activities. And Bhaktivinoda was actually asking about the other guy we spoke yesterday. But the Durvasa story is another one which is also telling very similar. Any other question? Olaf, any question? Okay, then let's have the darshan of our Supreme Lord. We had an idea this morning we want to share with you. So maybe we can have a little meeting in the prasad.